Summer is over. It's often over in the Eifel Mountains, where weather is always a factor. Nevertheless, it's still a warm welcome to the Nürburgring for the FIA Formula 3 European Championship. After a change in the lead of the championship, Lando Norris is now the hunted. Maxi Günther, racing here on home soil, is the hunter. Third in the points is Sweden's Joel Eriksson. And there are three new drivers this weekend. From Belgium, Max Duforny, Romanian Petru Florescu, and French youngster Sacha Fenestraz.
Well, the Nürburgring, I think, is a very special track, you know, very well known for its heritage and a lot of history here at this place, and it's not an easy track. It has a lot of different corners, slow parts, fast parts, and I think it's a good place to come as a race driver. Always good fun and good races.
Yeah, the weather changed like in 5 minutes, so you never know how if it's raining or if it's sunny. So yeah, always great racing here, and yeah, love to be here.
Hello, my name is Tadasuke Makina. I'm driving high-tech GP here in Nürburgring. This is a really historic track and not easy to overtake. Okay, here we go. This is my Nürburgring Lap 1. This is main straight. 200 kilos, 6 gear, a little bit bumpy. Flat for braking, try to straight braking, really easy to lock up. Really important to exit. So this is turn 2, looks a little bit oversteer. And yeah, next couple turn 3, use second gear. Really important exit as much as you can. Go to a little bit short straight. And go to turn 5. Little bit use a banking. Carry more speed as much as you can. And go to turn 6 and 7. So my car looks a little bit oversteer, but really easy to less oversteer, to be honest. And this is quite long straight. Try to straight steering. And next chicane. 15-meter braking, really easy to lock up. Someone braking a little bit lock up and oversteer. Okay, and the next is last corner. Really important to exit. Try to carry more speed as much as you can. So yeah, this is main straight and the finish line. Yeah, this was my Nürburgring Lap 1. Hope you will enjoy.
Unfortunately for Tatsuke and all the other Formula 3 drivers, qualifying conditions were exceptionally tricky with a cold track and heavy rain. Wet tyres were never an option. New situation for Prema Power Team now to be in the hunt for the championship leader, Lando Norris.
We need just to work harder. That's the only thing we can do. Is as I said in the beginning, night competition, and we need to continue like that. But everything will be decided in Hockenheim.
Before all of which, Lando Norris starts the first race, the Nürburgring, from pole position. Carlin driver with Jake Hughes alongside the number 34 car for High-Tech, but Hughes is swamped at the start. Callum Eilert for Prema and Maxi Günther also for Prema get by him. Günther moving up from 5th position. Maxi Günther now second in the championship after the last race weekend. Lando Norris holding the lead and pulling away fast as everybody else struggles for grip in the Mercedes arena. Jake Hughes in second place. Maxi Günther hanging on to third spot, battling on behind. And heading up through the spray to the NGK chicane. Maxi Günther losing ground. And trouble as Ralph Aaron loses it at the chicane and just clatters Maxi Günther's number 3 machine as he tries to get by, dislocating the German's front wing. So Günther has to head into the pit lane. Joel Eriksson, car number 1, in a spin as well after a tangle with Harrison Newey. And trouble Sasha Fenestraz and Nikita Mazepin coming together. Full course yellow out in the dreadful conditions. Mazepin lucky to avoid a big contact with the wall. Car number 3, the pink machine, Maxi Günther, second in the championship in 18th position after that stop for a nose. Visibility dreadful. Lando Norris pulling away, 10 seconds clear of Jake Hughes. Lando Norris running out wide. That's why the big lead is a big advantage. Maxi Günther attacking Kevin Andres, who didn't get a qualifying time in, but was allowed to start on the back of the grid anyway. Change for 14th place doesn't last long as Günther runs wide in the final corner, and fellow German Kevin Andres in 47 comes back at him. Günther tries again next time round at the NGK chicane. Makes a little bit better fist of it this time round. He moves up closer to the top 12. Meanwhile, Lando Norris posting fastest race lap as well. Pedro Piquet getting the hairpin completely wrong. He's disappointed. Full course yellow comes out as the Brazilian struggles with his emotions. Maxi Günther in 13th place and finding very little grip. Not a good start to the weekend. Meanwhile, Joey Mawson under attack from 53, Callum Eilert. Battle for 3rd place, the Australian holding the inside line. Neither of them make the chicane. Eilert tries to come back on in front, but doesn't have the momentum. Eilert this time up the inside. Over the curbs, Joey Mawson trying to hang on. Tatsuki Makino for high-tech number 11 car getting in between them. But he doesn't have the grip either. Callum Eilert on the inside. But it's Joey Mawson who keeps his nose in front. Out of the final turn, checker flag awaits Lando Norris, the Carlin driver, will claim his 8th win of the season. Comfortably clear at the line. Confirmation of the result nearly 20 seconds ahead of Jake Dennis, with Joey Mawson winning the battle for the final podium spot.
Yeah, I went off one lap, I think lap 7 or 8 or something, in turn 2, and I lost like 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds, so yeah, obviously it wasn't ideal, but yeah, I still stayed in the lead and I managed to pull away from that, so I'm happy.
To be honest, it's a very hard track to drive in the wet. There's not much grip at all. Some of the slow corners, it feels like you could get out of the car and walk faster. So, no, it's good. It's good just to stay on the track, like you say, finish P2, and I think we have the pace, wet or dry, to challenge for pole later. So we'll give it a good go.
I knew towards the end the only way he was going to get past was if I really, made a big mistake. Managed to keep my cool. It was very hard. I'm sure everyone on the pit wall was on their feet, nervous. But yeah, managed to hold him off and get my first podium, which I'm very pleased about.
Stay with us, lots more action to come from the damp Nürburgring right after this. European Formula 3 Championship at Germany's Nürburgring. Despite the weather, always a huge crowd on hand to meet the future stars of motorsport, grab an autograph or perhaps a picture. And for 4 German drivers, they'll spend this weekend racing on home soil. One of them is Kevin Andres.
My name is Kevin Andres. I was born in Cologne, Germany on the 8th of March 2000, and this year I'll be racing my first year in the FIA F3 Championship with Team Motorpark. I would be to score as many points as I can and to improve myself as a driver as much as I can. Well, it was always a passion with me and my dad, and I, and we wanted to test it, and we bought our own go-kart when we lived in Dubai. Then we started driving and starting to compete in some races, and then we started moving around the world to go into higher levels. Well, it's definitely going to be Macau, because any street circuit is is really fun to drive, but Macau is just it's a different world. I currently live in Florida, and because the weather is really nice all the time, I like to stay as active as possible. So I would go on the weekends, take the jet skis out, try to kite surf as much as I can, obviously run to stay in shape and to try to lose a bit of weight. It's candy, it's really, really bad. I try to get rid of this habit, it's getting better. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Kayvon Andres.
After a tough, complicated qualifying session because of the weather, Kayvon starting race 2 from the final row of the grid, but it is at least now dry. Jake Hughes starting race 2 on pole position, Callum Eilert and the 53 Premier Power Team car alongside. Lando Norris in 3rd place as he was on the grid heading down into the first corner. Closest rival Maxi Gunter only 15th on the grid. Gunter in the pink car trying to hold off Pedro Piquet's Van Amerfort Racing example. Number 5 machine right behind him. Little further forward, battle for 6th position at the chicane. Ralph Aaron up the inside of Ferdinand Habsburg. He gets by. And the battle for 2nd place, Lando Norris attacking Callum Eilert. Norris with the inside line in the Mercedes arena makes it pay. Jake Hughes opening up the advantage early on ahead of Callum Eilert, saving fresh tyres for the 2nd race after qualifying strongly and trying to pull away. Lando Norris in 2nd, Callum Eilert in 3rd. Maxi Gunter only 14th position. This is turning into a nightmare weekend for the man who led the championship for the first half of the year. Guangyang Zhu, the Premier Power Team, onto the wet AstroTurf with predictable consequences in the Mercedes arena, drops from 5th to 12th. David Beckman, the number 55 car, dive bombs Pedro Piquet for 17th place. Jake Hughes still leading, battle on for 9th place. Number 1 Joel Eriksson attacking Nikita Mazepin, gets by the high-tech driver. Lots of action. 37 Sasha Fenestraz getting eased out of the way by Mick Schumacher, taking the line away from him. Battle for 14th, Fenestraz again with Max Duforny, Mick Schumacher and the 55 car of David Beckman. Good dice further down the order. Drivers running out of road. Max Duforny dropping down the order, but keeping himself in the middle of the battle. Number 3, Maxi Gunter passing Guanyu Zhu. That's only for 12th position. Jake Hughes staying away from Lando Norris, pulling clear. Lando Norris, though, trying to close the gap as the race progresses. Callum Eilert hanging on to 3rd ahead of Tatsuki Makino by inches. Couple of laps remaining. Lando Norris latching onto the tail of Jake Hughes, trying to overhaul the leader, bringing the gap down from over 2.5 seconds to just about a half. Despite best efforts of Lando Norris, Jake Hughes has just enough left. And the high-tech driver takes the checkered flag to celebrate his first Formula 3 win. Lando Norris taking 2nd, Callum Eilert rounding out the podium ahead of Tadej Makino.
I just started struggling with the rears probably the last 3-4 laps, and Lando caught me quite a bit, but I don't think we were ever under threat. So, yeah, mega. So we start 3rd in the last race, so we see what we can do.
The loss was too big compared to the gain, and therefore I wasn't able to attempt a move, basically.
I made a little mistake when Lando got past, but at any point in the race he probably would have got past at my pace. So yeah, as much as it was annoying, it was probably going to happen anyway.
So 17-year-old Lando Norris absolutely flying high in the Nürburgring. One more race to go. Back at the Nürburgring for the final race in the Formula 3 European Championship weekend, and the weather is getting better. Well, let's hear a little bit more about Formula 3 engines from local hero Maxi Günther.
Hello, my name is Maximilian Günther. Today I want to tell you a bit about the Formula 3 engines. Generally we have two different engine manufacturers. On the one hand Volkswagen, on the other hand, like you can see in front of me, the Mercedes engine. And yeah, for sure, especially for me, I've got a very close relationship with Mercedes-Benz. They support me since 3 years in FIA Formula 3, and since this year I'm their test and reserve driver in DTM. Yeah, for sure, a very important partner for me. About the engine, as you can see in front of me, it's a 2 liters engine with 4 cylinders and around about 250 horsepower. And for sure something very specific is the airbox, which is sitting on the left-hand side in a Formula 3 car. Normally in Formula 1, for example, it's sitting in the middle. Then for sure the work with the engine guys, with the engineers, is very important, because you need to adapt the engine mapping on each different track. So it's a big difference if you're driving on a high-speed track like Monza, or on a street circuit like Pau. Yeah, that was a short overview about the engine, and I'm looking forward to the next few races.
Max's problem this weekend, though, isn't the engine. It was the wet conditions in qualifying. He'll start only 14th for the third and final race, with Callum Ilott and Lando Norris on the front row.
The idea from the beginning of the year was just to win as many races as we can, and to put out as good a performance as we can, both in the races and in qualifying. And really, if that goes to plan, then the championship takes care of itself. So that was the plan from the very beginning. That's still the plan.
Lando Norris on the outside of the front row, but 53, Callum Ilott is the pole sitter for the final time of the weekend. He makes a good, clean start in the red and white Prema Power Team machine. Carlin's Lando Norris tucking into second, as there's contact behind. Ferdinand Habsburg coming into the first corner, too hot. Tags number 8, Guanyu and Zhu. They are both off in the gravel. Contact in the hairpin as well between Joey Mawson and Tatsuki Makino, who loses part of his front wing. Their safety car is scrambled by the organisers. Going green after 3 laps, Callum Ilott ahead of Lando Norris. Lando right behind his compatriots, the 2 British drivers, streaming away from the field. Jake Hughes, winner of race 2, in 3rd position. Ralph Aaron in 4th. The battle for 4th is 3 wide down into the first corner, as Lando Norris has a lunge at the leader, can't get wide. They all sweep through safely. Lando Norris running out very wide on the exit of the Mercedes arena, keeps the momentum up, goes around the outside of Callum Ilott, who has to shut the door firmly to keep Jake Hughes behind him. Carlin Man now in front of Prema Power Teams, Callum Ilott, and High-Tech's Jake Hughes. Further back, Tatsuki Makino with number 3, Maxi Günther, the pink car. Harrison Newey, number 17, trying to get his nose in front of the chicane. And getting shuffled a little further back in the 5-car battle for 6th position. Across the line, Makino ahead of Newey and Günther. Battle for 2nd place into the first turn. Jake Hughes going the long way around the outside of Callum Ilott. That turns into the inside line, and he is through ahead of the pole sitter. Lando Norris in 31 trying to pull away. Jake Hughes now up to 2nd, Callum Ilott in 3rd position, and they've been caught from behind. Ilott jumped by Ralph Aaron. The Estonian has better traction, staying on the grass. Callum Ilott losing grip there. turning through the tight, short right-hander on the narrow part of the circuit. Battle behind Mick Schumacher, 25, Max Dufourny, the Belgian. He goes outside, inside, little bit of contact. David Beckman right behind. Schumacher losing a bit of ground. Sascha Fenestraz lunges to the inside of Mick Schumacher. He too gets by the young German. Next up, Pedro Piquet. Piquet misjudges it all. Contact with Schumacher, judged to be a racing incident. Lando Norris out front for Carlin, controlling the third race of the weekend, just checking the position of his closest rivals. Jake Hughes in second, Ralph Aaron in third. Battle under braking again. Sascha Fenestraz trying to get by David Beckman, had to take to the pit exit road. They both outbrake themselves, allowing Joey Mawson to close in from behind. Mawson latching onto the tail of 55 David Beckman as Sascha Fenestraz tries to make his escape. Across the gravel, Nikita Mazepin, high-tech driver, rejoins the track, rather cavalier manner ahead of Max Dufourny, who is forced off in evasion. The Russian will be penalised later by the stewards. Joey Mawson having a big brave lunge on David Beckman, gets it all wrong. Damage brings out the yellow flags, both men out of it. Chased but not caught by Jake Hughes. Lando Norris heading towards his 9th win of the season in the Formula 3 European Championship. A third podium finish, 2 victories for Lando Norris at the Nürburgring. Really seizing the championship by the scruff of the neck. Another podium for Jake Hughes. Ralph Aaron, his first podium of the weekend, in 3rd spot.
I made a move into turn 4. I saw him preparing turn 3 to get an exit in 4, and it's so hard to overtake in F3, and if you see an opportunity, you have to take it, and I did, and it worked.
Yeah, I mean, we went forward, 3rd to 2nd, and yeah, this weekend we finished 2nd, 1st, 2nd, so best weekend by a long way.
I have, let's say, a comfortable lead. I just need to be going podiums, really. Yeah, I'll still be going for the win. But no, if we can have 2 weekends like Zandvoort and here, I think it'll go very well.
Lando Norris now has a 73-point lead over Maxi Günther after the German's nightmare weekend, with a total of 150 points up for grabs in the last 2 weekends. It's not impossible, but Günther has a mountain to climb, and that will start in 2 weeks' time at Austria's Red Bull Ring. We'll see you there.